on, just be yourself. If people don't like it, if you're being yourself, fuck them.
It's Big Los.
Hollywood Kev.
And welcome to another episode of The Noize on iHeartRadio.
Yep, you heard it. You fucking heard it.
Yo, this has probably been one of the craziest, stressful, Twitter-fingered, worst, best week I've ever had in my life.
I second that motion.
First of all, good to have you back.
Yeah, it's good to be back, man. I love coming in and seeing my mic stand just ready for me. Like, hey, baby, I miss you. I
Like
love
coming
it.
back to your mistress.
Yeah, I guess if we wanted to go that route, yeah.
So yeah, we're definitely happy to have Kev back. You missed your really good interview last time. Hopefully,
Yeah.
I'm sure you had a chance to hear it.
Yeah, absolutely. Shout out to Corey because that interview was great.
It's been a hell of a week, and we're actually going to touch on that with you guys. But the highlight of it all is that we officially joined the iHeartRadio family.
Yes.
We're not exclusively streaming on iHeart, but we now have that platform to reach millions of people.
Millions and millions. Didn't The Rock used to do that?
It was
Back
like
in the day?
millions
Yeah.
and millions
Yeah, back in the day.
of iHeart listeners.
Yeah.
We got to somehow figure out a way to pencil that into. I feel like I'm going to find a way to pencil that into our show.
I'm pretty sure we can.
It's not exclusively streaming on iHeart, but this is definitely about to be the major platform. So to all the loyal and dedicated ear hustlers out there, first of all, thank you.
Yes, we thank every last one of them.
Thank you for sticking in there with us. Thank you for pushing the show, plugging the show, making sure that, we got the numbers so that way they actually recognize what we were doing here. We're able to, listen to our product and deem it appropriate to actually be on this huge platform.
Exactly.
We honestly wouldn't have been able to do it without you guys. And secondly, if you do not have your iHeart membership, go ahead and sign up for it because it's free.
Do it. Yep. As you're listening to this show, you should be on your Android or your iPhone and at the App Store and downloading iHeart so you can go ahead and that's where you should listen.
We might as well all just join the iHeart family. It's the thing to do. So again, to the ear hustlers, thank you. To the new ear hustlers, welcome. And we're definitely not going to disappoint.
Yeah, absolutely.
So other than that, how was the week?
Boy. My week, man. My week was everything you said at the beginning and then some. Starting with the day that I think everybody hates, Monday. My Monday was probably the worst day. Monday was the second worst day I think I've ever had. The first being the day that my grandmother passed away, but I think that this Monday that just passed was probably the second worst that I've ever had. Like,
that's putting a lot on it.
Yeah. It ranged from everything. And I think that mental health in the black community is severely overlooked. I think a lot of our elders, our parents, our grandparents, they'll go back, oh, you're just having a bad day, you know what I mean? Go take a nap or go sleep it off. And it's really deeper than that. You know what I mean? Depression is real. Being diagnosed with different things is real. It's not something that somebody can just turn on and turn off. You know what I mean? And I'm saying to say that ties into my Monday. My Monday was shit. My Monday was shit. So we'll leave it at that.
All right, well, you want to leave it at that? That's
we'll
cool.
leave it at that. I'm not even going to dive too much into it because I don't want to be brought back to the place. But definitely, if you got, I'll just leave it this. If you got somebody in your family, friends, whatever, that's suffering from some type of mental health, you know what I mean? Listen to them. Listen to them. Try to understand. Even if you don't understand, try to figure out a way they can explain it better to you so you can understand.
So just go in with the listening ear. Exactly,
because you never know what listening to that person or trying to get that person help could do. You know what I mean? So we got to do better in the black community with that.
Oh yeah, definitely. Mental health is probably one of the least spoke about things when it comes down to our communities, especially with black men. We talked about it on the show when the dude did what he did out in Cleveland.
Right, exactly.
It doesn't make you pussy if you're reaching out for help.
Exactly.
Because all you're doing is reaching out to help to protect yourself and to protect your loved ones, to protect the people around you. So it's definitely a conversation that needs to be had. And of course, we definitely need to have a guest on here, even though I think I know the perfect guest. Who you got out here about to get her doctorate and all that. I think we may have to put in that call.
Yeah, we may have to do that.
Definitely.
Your week, sir? Did you what is it? Go postal? You didn't blow up your job or anything, did you?
Nah, not this time around. I'm really not gonna touch on that, but but yeah, it was definitely a very interesting week, to say the least, especially dealing with work. I'm happy to be off for the next couple of days. Mm-hmm. Yesterday was a real difficult, well, this coming out on Sunday, so Friday was a very difficult day. And if it wasn't for the fact that we got picked up by iHeart, today would have been even more difficult if it wasn't for iHeart. Now, my today, first of all, shout out to Truth.
Yeah.
We actually I was blessed to be a part of her surprise birthday brunch.
Yep. Happy birthday
put
to her.
Put together by her husband, who is the Mob, who is also a brother of Phi Beta Sigma, Brandon Taylor. So shout out to him. But I was able to be a part of her surprise birthday brunch, and it was great. There was a lot of good conversation. I got to actually meet her mother in person, meet some of her folks, and it was a bunch of laughs, really good food. I think the spot is called the Crab Corner.
Gotcha.
It's in Henderson.
Okay.
And I had the chicken wings because, shellfish. Shellfish kill me. So
yeah, shout out to Truth. I'm sorry, Truth. I couldn't be there. My daughter's birthday was today. She turned 11. I'm officially old as shit.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, I'm sorry I couldn't be there, but happy birthday, Mama.
11.
Yeah, man. 11. Exactly.
You already got your shotgun, or are you a pistol nigga?
I'm both.
Oh, okay.
I'm both. You know what I mean? I got the shotgun for home and the pistol when you walking around.
Oh, okay. So
I'm both. I'm both. I'm 11.
One for stationary, one for motion.
Exactly.
I feel you.
Exactly.
But as far as this day, I woke up to a very interesting conversation that I had to have.
Oh, I got to hear it.
So I'm not going to say names because, I'm trying to get better at it.
We're being respectful.
We're not even being respectful. I'm not saying names just because it gets to the point I'm not really on that super duper reckless shit anymore.
Okay.
Now, granted, I'm still with the shits.
I'm smart about it. You're smart about it.
I'm just smart about it. Exactly. So this morning, I wake up to a message from, I guess in this sense now, a former friend of mine's husband. And he was basically upset that me and her were cool. Let me tell y'all this. If y'all have an issue with a fat person, the one insult you should just kind of stay away from, especially if they're an adult, the one insult you should stay away from is calling them fat. We know. We wake up with this shit every day. We see it during the day. When we jog, it's hard. Like, we deal with a lot of shit being fat. We know we're fat. Leading with a fat joke or a fat insult
it's like shooting yourself in the foot.
Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, you leading with an insult about being fat as if, like, what? Get the fuck out of here. I'm fat. Swear. Oh, really? So anyway, I woke up to a barrage of just corny insults, and I want to say it was threats, but it wasn't too many threats. But anyway, of course, he let me know that I was fat, and then he made reference to a bowling ball. So I'm assuming that has to do with me being bald. What else? I will pull out my phone and go through the whole message. My phone is actually dead, but made reference to me being bald by saying I was gonna something about you really gonna be a bowling ball for real or something like that. And he told me to basically, don't talk to his wife no more.
Right.
And then he was like, come see, you pull up or whatever. Again, this is me recognizing my growth. This is me moving past all the bullshit, because Los would have been like, you're right, I do know where you live. And you know where I live.
Right.
So we can, all this conversation, all this Twitter fingers, this shit is dead. But I truly got to the point I had to step outside of my usual and really look at it. Mm-hmm. If this was me in this position, I'm going to want somebody to respect my marriage. I'm going to want somebody to respect me as a husband and as a father.
Now, do you feel like you were disrespecting their marriage?
Very much so.
Oh, okay.
Very much so. But not in the sense of like, I'm about to, snatch a bra and do all this, yada, yada, yada. But me and her were close. Mm-hmm. We've known each other a decade now. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And when he was on fuck shit as a husband and as a father, not even as a father, he's pretty good as a father. Well, he's good as a father. But as a husband, she would vent to me about it.
Right.
So I would respond accordingly. Mm-hmm. So I'm pretty sure he probably saw that and felt disrespected. But anyway, getting back to the story. First thing I say to him when I respond, I'm like, these are probably the worst insults I've ever heard. And I laugh at him because I don't take social media thugs seriously. To me, you just need a hug.
Right.
When you're putting this much time and effort into your caps, like if you want to really show me that you were pissed off, he should have tweeted me. You know how angry you got to be to take 140 characters at a time to address a nigga. You know how that would have shown me that you are pissed the fuck off. But anyway, I let him know that it was corny. Mm-hmm. I also let him know that he was on his internet gangster, and it's never a problem to pull up on the internet gangster to see if his words match his actions. Then I told him, where you are correct, my actions or my conversation with your wife was disrespectful to you and her as with your marriage. Uh-huh. And for that, I apologized. Then I immediately hit him back and I let him know I'm not really apologetic, actually, because our friendship didn't have shit to do with you. You chose to involve yourself. Right. But I will admit when I'm wrong in our conversations when it came down to you guys. Yeah, that's when the conversation got like super duper weird.
It went for a turn left.
First of all, he adds me on Facebook out of nowhere. Wow. He sends me an ad, and obviously I'm not going to accept it. I didn't accept it, and then he followed me on Facebook. He did what I tell people to do all the time, so I can't be mad at that. I said, follow me, don't add me, because I'm not going to add you, so I'm officially not a liar. So he folloes me on Facebook. He probably listens to the show at this moment. But
hey, shout out to you if you listen. We appreciate it. Go ahead and share it.
Might as well. So, the conversation keeps going on and on and on, and I was entertaining it, but then again, it just started to not make sense. Like I was laughing at him a lot, and I feel like that really got to him. Like how they got that big ass laughing sticker on Facebook now. Yeah. So he said something, and it was just too comical, so I had to hit him with it. But I was also going to respond. He hits me back like LOL, ha 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 ha, multiple messages of ha 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 ha, and I'm like, are you trying to prove that you're crazy? Or do you actually going with this one? What was the point of all this? So it got to the point I'm like, dude, this conversation is so whack. Nothing's more whack than having a social media bickering. Right. And I told him, I said, dude, I would hope that we're not corny to really have a Facebook argument, because this shit is middle school. This is the shit that younger millennials do. This ain't what real men do. Right. Like I said, I'm gonna fall back. Y'all do y'all.
That's the end of it.
If she confides in me because you know me this long, there's other men that she's known longer. Mm-hmm. So you're gonna have to flex on all these other niggas the way that you tried to at least flex on me. One thing that sticks out from the conversation is being a good guy. I told him, I said, man, you know what? Take care. God bless. He said, nigga, I am a god.
He went on his full Kanye. He went on his full Kanye.
Nigga, I am a god. He called me a faggot with an E.
Faggot?
Forget. Yes, exactly. Forget. He called me a forget.
Is that French?
I think so. I think it's a French term. It's a French term against homosexual people. But he called me a forget. Mm-hmm. He said something else in horrible spelling, but I just ended it. I was just like, okay, take care, God. That was the end of the conversation, man.
I'm glad you handled it the way you did. You could have you entertained it a little bit, but it didn't come to a point where you actually pulled up because you had the means.
Oh, and he told me, he was like, for somebody that's not scared, you sure are responding a lot. I was like, so don't that mean that I'm not scared?
Right.
Is that by definition, if I was scared, I wouldn't be responding.
Right. You know what I mean? It's that you can tell the immaturity of that dude, because there's so many different ways he could have came at you about it. Yeah. You know what I mean? He could have came at you very simple. Hey man, feel like you're disrespecting our marriage. Could you just leave it at that? We gonna work out things. You know what I mean?
Even if he wanted to truly be brolic, he could have came to me and been like, hey bruh, what you're doing is fucked up. Dead that shit.
Right.
He could have left it at that. And I'd have been like, you got it. And that would have been the end of the conversation. But the fact he opens it up by calling me fat, I was like, what?
Shit, I'm finna go look in the mirror
Let me go double check. Let me get on this scale as I huff and puff out of bed.
Oh my God.
So the fact that he opens it up with terrible insults and then tells me to pull up, I'm just like, all right, so I see this is much more than a conversation.
Yeah, he was definitely threatened by it.
This is definitely something a little more. And he goes on the fact to let me know that I'm irrelevant. But I'm like, if I'm irrelevant, why are we having this conversation?
Exactly.
Why didn't you just tell me to fall back?
Yeah. Like I said,
there were so many different ways it could have gone.
Yeah, like I said, I'm proud of your growth because it could have went left.
Right.
It could have came to him having to go to the ER. And for you
Not gonna
internet
incriminate on
thugs,
this show.
you have to realize how corny you look writing a post and another man's message going off.
And then adding him and following him.
You look extremely corny. If you're so serious about what you're talking about, just be like, hey, bro, we need to see each other face to face. Even if it's gonna be a conversation, do it face to face.
You know what?
Or
I would
something.
even respect that more. You'd be like, dude, fall back, or you're gonna have to see me.
Exactly. It's really simple. So you make yourself look really corny by being in another man's messages, just having a whole conversation. And at the end of the day, he should have been checking her, not you.
I'm pretty sure he has.
She reached out to you, but obviously not enough to where he felt like he still had to say something to you. Mm-hmm. Because if he did it the way I would have done it if I'm in his situation, I would have had no reason to talk to you. None.
Yeah, it'd have been dead. And that's the thing. Like, me and her, we didn't talk all year. Literally all year.
That's crazy.
We just connected not too long ago.
Because at his point the thing that he ultimately wanted was you guys not to talk, right?
At all, right.
So if he was to talk to her the right way, then that's exactly what it'd been.
Right.
But obviously he doesn't trust her enough. He's insecure about his situation. He feels you can snatch his broad, so he wants to come to you and try to play macho.
The whole time I was thinking, in this entire conversation, I should have just fucked. I should have just hit. Like,
just Keisha Cole. I
make all this the situation. But I'm like, I'm not about to pull up on a dude to fight him about my interactions with his wife
that aren't even what he's thinking of.
Because at the end of the day, if I win, I lose because I wasted gas to come down here and do this.
Right.
Then what?
Right. Then
Guess what? I'm going to still be your wife's friend. What kind of pussy shit is that?
Yeah, that makes no sense.
I told him I respect him as a man for at least approaching me and telling me what's good. I respect him as a man for at least telling me, getting to the point at least eventually.
Right.
to tell
after
me
all the insults.
to leave his wife alone.
After him letting you know he's a god.
Right. After getting on this Kanye the whole
First of all, if I'm a god, this shouldn't even be happening if I'm a god.
Right.
Obviously,
I would have never been a factor.
Right. Obviously, he's the only person that knows he's a god because this is transpiring.
Right.
So, yeah, it's real cornball shit.
Even getting off the factor shit. I'm not a fucking factor. We have done nothing. We've come close to doing nothing. We've not even haven't even considered doing nothing. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, if I'm saying myself that I am a non-factor,
then we're in agreements.
Why are we having this goddamn conversation?
That's funny, man.
Trust me, this person, that is my homie. But if it's going to, you know what I'm saying, restore peace in her house and get seen as respecting the sanctity of their marriage, I'll fall back.
Right.
That's not a problem for me. It's not a problem for me whatsoever. But if it was ever to, elevate to something else, trust me, there's one of us in this situation that's not ready for it, and one of us is, and I'm pretty sure I'm the one that is.
Yeah. And even if you weren't the one that is, I damn sure are.
But I said there's a lot of motherfuckers around me.
I damn sure are.
So
Trust me.
It's too deep, and it's honestly too much, man. So I wish them the best, for real. Because I'm not about to argue over somebody's wife. I got mine. Trust me, I'm good. Mm-hmm. And yeah, that was my morning before getting to.
I am a god.
I am a god.
Funny. That is funny.
That's my new shit. Whenever I argue with a nigga, first of all, I'm a guy, so you might want to relax.
You might want to chill.
You might want to chill the hell out.
Twitter fingers.
Or book knuckles.
Book knuckles.
There
I like
you go.
that. Book knuckles.
Book knuckles.
That's crazy.
And them shits was in motion.
That's crazy. Damn. You got told by another man he is a god.
Yep. And I need to respect that.
Wow. Wow.
Oh man. I think is that when I let? That may have been. I don't know. I need my phone to be on for this story. But it shall charge because I have the fast charger.
All right. Oh, I need to get one of those. Even though my battery on my phone is pretty cool.
They lit, ain't they?
Yeah. That's those things, they get the job done. First of all, I would like to say that I think out of the bunch, maybe, I don't know, I haven't seen your temper. I think I may have the worst temper out of the bunch. Because when you was telling me this story in the car, like I was like, yo, we can go pull up right now. You know what I mean? I think I may have the worst temper out of the two.
You know when you see the videos on Facebook where like they're typing, you see them start deleting shit? That was my initial first type message. I was like, you're right, I do know where you live at.
Right, I can pull up, let me not
but
do it.
Everything that Jay-Z's talking about with elevating and getting better is what I've already been doing.
Right.
I've made a shit ton of horrible decisions that honestly will probably never leave other people's mindsets. And a lot of those are a result of me being me at the time and my experiences with people coming up, which is something I'll get to once you're done.
Actually, we can kind of talk about it now. Give me a decision that you made that you can talk about. You know what I mean? And how has it shaped you now?
Well, with me, I've always had a very, very bad anger problem. Like really, really bad, which is why I try to chill. Like shit, even with me thinking that it's getting better, something will just flip and then I'll flip. You remember when I sent you the picture of what the hell I did to my own bedroom door?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then going back and actually being like punching at the door like, yeah, you got to be on some actual shit to get your get your fist through it. I gave at least a 5-piece. But that was always my Achilles heel, was my anger. I was quick to get angry. I was always the first nigga in the fight and the last one out the fight. It's an uncomfortable place to be. That's why I started bouncing, because I loved confrontation. I loved fighting people. I loved getting into shit. And you look back and you think about the impression that you make on people. Like, you look like a fucking meathead. Like, you look retarded. I look so dumb. Like, why am I fighting so goddamn much? Why am I arguing niggas so much? Like, this is so stupid. You know what I mean? When I could easily just dust these niggas off.
Right. Was it a reason she was just that angry, or was you just that angry? Like, what was the reason behind it, do you think? Was it like a deep-seated issue, you think?
I mean, I guess it could get personal. It's definitely in the roots.
Okay.
I'll say that. It's in the roots. It's something that I hoped wouldn't rub off, but it did.
Okay.
So
I can understand that. Yeah,
it just became one of those things where I was quick to get angry, very, very, slow to understand. And it often, rubbed. And even if it wasn't fighting, if it wasn't argue, if it wasn't fighting, if it wasn't a confrontation, if it was a female, I had to be a dick. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
And a lot of people saw a side of me that I didn't want to be displayed, but it was almost like I couldn't help it.
Gotcha. I can understand that. I can understand that because I'm kind of the same way. I think one of the worst decisions that I made came back in 2012. This is like right after we had I won't say just met. We had met. We were working at Capital One. We were kicking, and I had a incident where my kid's mother was dropping off my kids, told her to bring some little snacks, turned into this big old argument. When she drops the kids off, she comes over. I just confronted her, let her know, hey, you didn't have to come at me like that. That immediately went left. It turned into us going back and forth arguing, her punching me in the mouth, ended up with a bloody lip, and me putting my fist through her back car window.
Ah, okay.
That was probably one of the worst decisions I made, only because
it's expensive to be angry.
Yeah, because I had to pay for that window. I had to pay for
this damn door.
I had to pay for that window, so it was expensive to be angry. Mind you, I had cuts and scars on my. First of all, I didn't even know my hand was going to go through the window. Okay, I thought it was just going to hit and do like one of those shatter where it doesn't break, but you need a new window. You know what I mean?
You intended to damage it.
Yeah, I intended to damage it, but then when my hand went through the window, I was like, oh shit, my hand went through this window. Never hit her or anything like that. But it damaged that relationship for that point, especially being that we were going through it. Maybe I still had feelings for her during that time because we was coming fresh off a breakup. It was hell. That was something I regretted. Granted, we moved past it. Me and her are like really good friends now. But that was something that came from just anger.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that was something I definitely didn't want to, fuck it. That kind of goes into my Monday, even though it didn't have nothing to do with her. So, fuck it, I'm telling you, my Monday.
Okay, here we go.
My Monday started out with me, I had a doctor's appointment. As we know, my back is paper mache.
Yes.
So had a doctor's appointment at the same time. Well, 10 minute difference. I had to be at court for the ticket that I went to jail for last month.
Context.
Right. So I'm stressed because I'm like, I need to get to court, but I need to get to this doctor. Okay. And I only need to go to court so I can talk to them, tell them, hey, shouldn't have to pay you anything. Y'all locked me up for this for a weekend.
Right.
I need, you know what I mean? I shouldn't have to pay you guys anything. So it turned out to me going to the doctor, or getting ready to go to the doctor. As I'm, getting my stuff to get in the shower, hear a knock at the door. Car dealership is coming to repossess my car temporarily. So they take my car. I'm frustrated because at this point, my car is the only thing that's the only thing that I have that I work for. That's me. Ain't nobody helped me with it. This is my baby. So they do that, and I flipped. I had a basket of clothes, clean laundry. Like, this is a full basket. I punched the basket and then went clear across the room. Went into my room, slammed the door, and I was just livid because I felt like no matter how much I tried to be better, no matter how much I tried to stay afloat, I couldn't. You know what I mean? So I was livid. At that same day, I was supposed to actually pick up my kids. Told my kids' mother what was going on, and by the grace of her heart, she came, took me to the doctor. Go to the doctor, I'm waiting. I'm like, you know what? Okay, I still got a chance to turn this day around. Fine. The doctor tells me my insurance is canceled. So, the receptionist tells me my insurance is canceled. Doctor won't even see me. I'm upset about that because I needed to see this doctor. I'm supposed to be doing this other procedure. I needed to go to this doctor. Couldn't do that. So I get home, and at this point, I'm just disgusted. I'm disgusted with myself. I'm disgusted with the situation. I hate it. Later on the day goes by. I think I took a nap or something. Later on the day goes by. My mother is calling my aunt, and she's crying. She's upset. I'm thinking maybe she got into an argument with her boyfriend, something like that. No, it turns out my little brother was trying to put hands on her. Now, just to place it in some context and to kind of touch on why I said what I said earlier in the show, my little brother, he suffers from a mental health issue, and he's on drugs. So I'm going to kind of dead the situation, and it quickly turns left. It quickly turns to me almost choking my brother out until, and it's ironic that I stopped myself because normally in those cases it's always another person who stops you. But as I'm doing this, I'm yelling at him. I'm telling him, of all days to do this shit, you do this today. That was enough for me to be like, Kevin, chill.
Relax, right.
And I did. You know what I mean? All in all, police comes. They ended up taking him. It was just a clusterfuck of a Monday. Literally, like I said, one of the worst Mondays that I've had, and one of the worst days that I've had. And not necessarily because of the car, not necessarily because of the doctor, because I know those things will hash themselves out, but because I have to sit here and look at someone and my little brother, and me being the oldest, and watch him literally tear himself apart.
Right, self-destruction.
You know what I mean? Literally watch someone who not only doesn't want help, but you can't help.
Right.
You know what I mean? I'm watching the police come in and put him in cuffs, and they put him on the gurney to take him to the hospital. And they're not just putting him there. They're strapping him down. Like, he can't move once he's on that ground. I'm watching him yell at the cops and just go off the handle. Not to mention, I'm only down there because he tried to hit my mother.
Right.
You know what I mean? This is just think about it. A drug addict trying to hurt someone you love.
Oh, no, he's out of here.
You know what I mean? And it's my mom. And the cops were like, I know you can handle it. And I was like, yeah, but I didn't want to hurt him. I'm not there to hurt people,
right.
Let alone my flesh and my blood. I'm not there to hurt him. And I could have. After everything that happened today, after everything that I have been going through that led up to that day, I could have easily hurt him.
That's the crazy thing. And I think that's why I wanted to calm down so much, because it's what you just said.
Exactly.
Like, when you have the presence of mind that I need to relax, you start thinking like, everybody just saw this shit go down.
But I think having the presence of mind to tell yourself to relax is more scary than somebody else.
Then somebody else looking at exactly.
Because somebody else, like if my mother would just been like, hey, Kevin, get off of him. That's just me not thinking. But the fact that I'm doing this and I'm in a full conscious state is more scarier. You know what I mean?
Right.
So Monday was terrible. That's why I'm saying, if you got someone that's in mental health, and granted, we've tried to do this with him, but if you got someone that's suffering from some type of mental disorder, listen, try to help them out. You know what I mean? Go through that struggle with them, because at the end of the day, if it doesn't work, you can say, I did everything that you
did everything you could. Exactly.
You know what I mean? So definitely do that. But that Monday was just terrible. But it goes to show how me and my kid's mother are good friends, because she didn't have to come take me. She could have been like, oh, fuck you, nigga. And she didn't.
Which is the normal baby mama
right.
conversation.
She came in.
Right.
Like, we are really good friends. You know what I mean? As I said earlier today, it was my daughter's 11th birthday. Had a birthday party. My ex is there. Current girl is there. Everybody is cool. You know what I mean? So it grows to show how much growth has came from that. You know what I mean? And that ties into what you're saying. We've grew from, I say we grew from the time that we've met each other till now.
Bro, we had no choice, and we getting killed every other week out here. Like, it was either grow or get popped.
Yeah.
Man, but and really, that's something I don't want to be known. It was something I didn't want to be known for, you know, because I don't know if you saw the meme. Would you consider yourself a good person? It's like, well, it depends on who you ask.
You're right.
That's really the situation with me. Because like I said, there are some people who I'll probably never speak to again because of shitty decisions I made or how I reacted to shitty decisions that they made. But the people that fuck with me. They'll tell you that Los would literally give you the shirt off his back. Maybe sometimes actually gave you the shirt off his back.
We're a lot
How
alike.
did I not know I was fat then when I took my shirt off? But I mean,
it's like a new development. It's like breaking news.
Bruh, this is blowing my mind. I'm fat. I'm going by Big Los just because I thought, I had ego. But turns out.
Oh, man.
But yeah, like, the people that know me for, being selfless and giving and caring and all this other stuff, that can get washed when you're having a conversation with somebody that's like, man, he wigged out on me, or nigga, we got into an issue, and if niggas weren't around, he would have choked me out.
Right.
I don't want that shit.
Absolutely.
And especially because a lot of the issues that I had with people, they were black. And if one thing, I want to see our community get back together. When I was arguing with dude, I told him, black relationships are few, far in between, and damn near extinct.
Right.
So make sure this black love continues.
Yeah,
I said that shit to him.
Right.
Given the conversation, I said that shit to him because I truly believe that. It's so bad that, when you get on Facebook, we getting cussed out by black women. Then you got black men who, for some reason, niggas like Kodak Black speak for us. You got black men going out their way to disrespect our sisters, and then that shit gets generalized to all of us. We don't need the dissension.
Exactly.
So it's like,
I agree.
I'd hate having to deal with knowing what I've done to people, knowing what I've done to my black people, knowing that a lot of people that I've shared special memories with, that shit is dead now because of a decision I made or how I reacted to a decision they made.
Right.
And that shit sucks. So, it was the right decision for me to start taking the higher road. Again, I'm going to always be with the shits.
Oh, yeah, don't get it twisted.
I'm going to always be with the shits. If any nigga want to pull up and try to test me on that point, trust me, you'll find out why I chose to change. But it's a much more peaceful place.
Absolutely.
To just,
I was just
relax
gonna say that.
and enjoy life.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with you 100% with that. You find yourself way more relaxed, like I said, way more peaceful when you know you don't have to tolerate the fuck shit.
Right.
You know what I mean? Once I started realizing that don't try to control stuff I can't and control the stuff I can, stuff started to be a little bit more easier for me.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? And the situation earlier with old dude, that was a situation you can control.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't have to go to those levels with you because it's not going to be good for either one of us.
We both ain't got to be book knuckles.
Exactly.
Hashtag book knuckles.
So yeah, I definitely agree, and I like our growth. I like our growth. I like how we're going to continue to grow. The listeners, you guys are going to continue to learn more about us
and grow with us.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, absolutely. And that ties into what Jay said about Jay's album,
right?
Or his discography. How you kind of grow.
Jay Alonzo about Jay-Z.
Yeah,
too many J's.
Too many J's.
But continue, sir.
No, I was saying that ties into kind of what he said. We got a chance to kind of grow up with Jay-Z.
And that's one thing that I felt it was so ironic that you got 444 drop, we get picked up by iHeart, I handle this situation like this. We're now in that growth period. We're in that place to where the shit from way back when is exactly that, way back when. Like another big ass issue I had, bro, I used to drink, and especially when I went back for the for my
90th.
Yeah, when I went back for my 90th, bro, I got so drunk, I fell asleep on somebody's fucking car. No one wants to deal with that. I wake up, I'm getting told, bro, look at your pants, and it's throw up on it. I'm like, oh no, Jesus, why? You know what I'm saying?
Not me.
That shit that you don't want to deal with. And so like Jay has been preaching, you got to elevate. Now, I haven't had the opportunity to listen to the record as, in depth and attentive as I, need to, because it's been a busy day. And plus, I was too busy book knuckling. And But just, picking up from it, I mean, he had a whole record apologizing to Beyonce and explaining the situation and like talking to cats about, y'all still out here taking advances when, he's trying to tell y'all, man, we're black.
Right, we're past that.
We've persevered past so much. Start your own shit.
Exactly. Get
your own money. Cats out here, I'll be damned, what do you say? I'll be damned if I buy a Belvedere when Puff got Ciroc.
Exactly.
That's the realest shit ever. Like, support your own.
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
What I mean? I think you gotta be at a different grown man, grown woman mindset to truly appreciate an album like 444. And you gotta be at a grown man, grown woman position and mindset to truly appreciate what you can do.
Mm-hmm. I agree with you. I haven't gotten a chance to listen to it and try to have a quick dry run. So I'm gonna definitely get more in depth, but I agree with you. To see his growth, you know what I mean? Lets us know that he's human. Granted, he's damn near a billionaire, but he's human.
I mean, if you put him and Beyonce together, that's a billionaire right there.
Yeah, but granted, he's human and he makes mistakes, and that lets us know that it's okay for us to make mistakes as long as we can grow from them. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I have no problem with making a mistake and growing from it to not make that mistake again.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I definitely want to dive into the album because I'm hearing it's good. I'm hearing it's classic J, and it's good for hip hop, man. Because I'm getting tired of this mumble rap and the fuckery in the hip hop that's going on.
If I remember correctly, he actually touches on some of the mumble rap as well.
Yeah.
But it's such a grown album, and when you hear some of the reviews about it, granted, I hear way more good than I do bad.
Yeah, I haven't heard any bad.
And when you hear the bad reviews, it's a lot of it's being saying that the same thing that gets said about J. Cole about it being boring, and now granted his flow is very different on this record.
It's a point I want to make to that because there was somebody on my Twitter who made a very, very good point. Not far as the flows, but far as the context. They were just basically saying the context of J. Cole's rap and the context of this particular album for Jay-Z is a lot alike, but J. Cole will get called boring and trash, but Jay-Z won't.
Now, I love Cole. I've said that on many episodes, and For Your Eyes Only is a decent project, but that wasn't the project that he needed to come out with to combat him looking boring.
Well, yeah, absolutely.
Like when I heard that, I was like, damn.
Absolutely, yeah. That one made it hard to kind of defend him with the boring talk. But I'm just talking about just for the context, as far as how he's talking about bigging up your black people and the women and so on and so forth. It's not in a derogatory term. You know what I mean? And Jay-Z's the same way with this project from what I'm hearing. So people just making the comparison like, why is one getting called this is the best thing ever and the other one is not, when their context is very similar?
Well, you see how it is. Like, it doesn't really come down to the material. It kind of comes down to the person. Once you've developed that fandom, once you develop that stan treatment of somebody,
now
Jay could have literally farted on 10 tracks and was like,
if people would come out and said that it's about the person instead of the music, then I would understand a lot more. But people saying that it's the music, when it's like, wait a minute, hold on. This song is about, making your own. This song is about making your own. Why is this song better? I would understand it a lot more. People came out and was like, no, it's just because of Jay. I would understand.
No one's going to ever say that.
Of course not. Because I realize people don't like to look foolish. It's okay for you not to understand something. It's okay for you not to know something.
Right. I just said I fell asleep on the car on iHeart. So
right. I just told people I just punched the window.
Yeah.
You know
with intentions to break it.
Right.
Goddamn psycho.
I was livid that day.
But like I said, man, this is a very grown album. It's a very, very grown album from what I've been able to tell. One thing that pissed me off, and I would never understand these type of dudes, these hotep dudes that people be talking about. Somebody commented, and Truth was telling me about this at her birthday. Somebody commented under one of the videos, I think it was The Life of OJ, which is a fantastic record.
I gotta see it. I've been hearing
fantastic record. My man said, OJ, I'm not black, I'm OJ. Okay. And life showed you, okay.
Right.
But anyway, somebody commented in there like it's crazy how he wants to be all woke and yada, yada, yada when he was just taking pictures with Hillary Clinton a couple months ago. I'm like, so would you rather him taking pictures with Trump?
Right.
So what did you want? Like, my man was trying to make sure the lesser of two evils got in. Relax.
And even that, we have to understand that even politicians, and believe me, I'm not defending any of them, but they're still human.
Right.
You know what I mean? Just because I disagree with you doesn't mean that I want harm to you.
Right.
And I think a lot of them hotep cats think that. They truly think that if you're pro-black, you're anti-white. I believe they truly think that.
They like that's the only option, right?
Yeah, and that's not the case. I have a bunch of black friends. I have a bunch of white friends. I have a bunch. It doesn't matter to me. If you're solid as a person to me, then I'm going to be solid with you back.
We're going to be good, right?
That's just what it is. So when I hear people say phony stuff like that, because they say it all the time, not just about Jay, but just about other people, I'm like, bro, shut up.
Bro, I'm telling you, these are the two hardest people to talk to. Hotep black men and extreme black feminists.
Yeah.
You will get nowhere. And not even an argument, having a conversation with them in general. You're going to get nowhere, and you're going to get nowhere fast. Definitely still check it out. And of course, once you check it out, we got to have an in-depth conversation.
Yeah.
Kingpin, he checked it out, and he told me when you're done listening to it, we got to talk. So I'm pretty sure he's going to hear this episode. But, so you heard the album and you ain't hit me. I'm like, I haven't hit it. I haven't heard it in depth yet, bro. I haven't heard it in depth yet.
We can definitely do something to talk about it. You said that he addressed mumble rap in it, right?
Yeah.
And I'm glad he did, because got couple of these mumble rap cats beefing one of my favorite artists in Budden.
Oh,
I know you've seen the video.
Yeah.
I know you've seen the video.
Yeah, the BET Awards.
Yeah. I thought that was a little backwards. Now, granted, the next day, everybody got a little bit more context on what was going on. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? But I just think it's kind of hard if you in a blouse and you trying to start something.
Yo, somebody posted a meme of Dave Chappelle,
the Prince joint,
as Prince in the Revolution. It was like when the Migos stood up. I'm like, accurate.
really, it is. These was grown men in blouses ready to fight.
Now, well, first of all, go ahead. You sound like you had an opinion on it that you want to speak on.
I think from what I saw, and then from the context that I heard the next day, it seems like they kind of took it out of proportion, like they blew it out of proportion. And they went left with it when it really wasn't that thing. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And one thing, and again, I don't know none of these people personally. But from the videos that I've seen growing up, and from what I know, I'm not taking anything from Migos. I know they probably got hitters on their squad, whatever you has it. Budden comes from a different cloth.
Right.
He comes from an older cloth. Like you're not the people that call themselves thugs and gangsters now, they're the same people that go on a social media platform and brag about it. Right. And end up getting pinched. The people that Budden deal with, they're not that type. They're the type to show up to your mama's house. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So I truly believe if something was to happen to where it got physical, that Migos, you would have heard, somebody would have been making news within that weekend. You know what I mean? I'm glad it didn't turn physical, because I don't want to see that. But I just think they took it out of proportion, and they try to make something of it when it really wasn't nothing there. Like you can, if you're familiar with the show Everyday Struggle, DJ Academics, who was the co-host to Budden, I don't want to say throw shade, but he doesn't big up Migos like he was on the BET Awards. So if you notice, DJ Academic said, wish I could stay here longer to talk to one of my favorite groups, so on and so forth, Migos. That's when Budden dropped the mic. Mm-hmm. And it wasn't to Migos, it was to the fact that DJ Academics was dick riding when he's on their show Monday through Thursday throwing shade. You know what I mean? And then it went left from there.
He really does. I mean, he's only people he really throws shades to on that show is like Wale and.
I don't want to say shade, but he doesn't do what he did at the BET Awards on the show.
Nah, he is, on his own personal site, and I've never really, I never checked for Academics. I've only had him on, Facebook, and I would see his posts, but I never really looked at his YouTube page. That's one thing he got really popular on.
YouTube. He's that man on YouTube.
Exactly. Like basically making these videos, talk shit about people, and it's all behind, other footage and pictures and stuff like that. So I wasn't really in tune with him. What I saw at the BET Awards, and I'm just gonna touch on Academics before I get to everybody else. What I saw on the BET Awards was a fan with a microphone.
Yeah,
because he's having this conversation with his favorite group, and I think they even talked about it on Everyday Struggle. Like, you're not used to being around that much star power.
Yeah, they did,
and he fanned out.
Yeah,
but outside of that, and Joe said the exact same thing I'm about to say. Joe was justified in his reaction, but he was still wrong.
Yeah,
and the only reason I say that,
because he has to be in a more professional manner doing that.
You have to. You got to be media. You have to be media ready, because what you're going to end up doing, you're going to end up damaging your own brand.
Exactly.
People aren't going to want to come on Everyday Struggle because they know they have a 50-50 shot of getting Media Joe and getting JoJo.
Right.
You know what I mean? And he admits it. He said, "I'm not media ready. I'm not that type of dude." But kind of getting back to where I agree with him. Migos are notorious for having horrible interviews. They never speak at
like
interviews.
The one at the Breakfast Club.
That one was terrible,
man.
It was a horrible interview, and even the ones that they have when they're on camera, like you could look at people when they're getting interviewed on camera and they're leaning in. It's like, what are you saying? And now the only time they do have conversation is when you're talking about their money, when you're talking about their jewels, when you talk about their Versace, like the whole nine. That's the only time you're going to get a full conversation out of the Migos. You know what I mean? But at that, you know what I'm saying, and in that environment, knowing that. One, they share a label with a cat that you just kind of destroyed on your show, so they're really not checking for you already,
right?
And two, they're notorious for giving bad interviews.
Yeah.
So I understand where Joe came from, but he definitely should have handled it differently.
Yeah, he could have definitely handled it differently.
Charlamagne the God, he said on the recent Brilliant Idiots podcast, he was saying. And this is something that everybody's really saying now. You have to maintain that exact same energy that you have when you're away from somebody, when you're in front of them. Like everything he said about the Migos on Everyday Struggle, he should have said to them on the red carpet or the gray carpet, whatever color carpet BET has. But,
I think it's supposed to be red.
Well, he should have said that there. He should have said y'all really are arrogant, and if y'all didn't want to talk, y'all shouldn't have sat down. It would have been like a little bickering back and forth, but they would have bounced.
Right, exactly.
And that would have been that.
Exactly.
But saving it for Everyday Struggle, it defeats the purpose because it almost seems like you had time to calm down, and this is what I should have said situation.
Well, no, I think we got the context the next day because allegedly a lot of that interview that we saw on the red carpet was cut out. Complex cut it out. The way that basically all three of them kind of confirmed on the show is that Complex kind of set them up.
Right.
A little bit on that one. But again, I agree with you, Joe. Gotta handle that the better way. I'm just saying, I think Joe has to handle it the better way. I don't know how old the Migos are, but I would think, being at the level of fame that they're at now, that they probably would know how to maneuver a little bit better as well.
They're 24 and 27. Like they're definitely mid to late. But no, but again, I understand where Joe was coming from because I'd be just as frustrated. If you know you're gonna give me a shit interview, why did you just waste my time?
Exactly. You could have said, no, I'm good, and kept on pushing.
I'm cool. I don't fuck with you.
Exactly.
Kept it moving.
Exactly.
And that'd have been that. You'd have got just the same amount of respect of stepping up to him as you did of blowing him off. Maybe even more. Because it's like Everyday Struggle is like one of the leading shows on YouTube right now.
Yeah.
And you just blew them off like they was little niggas. It comes down to respect.
Yeah. Now, where do you see Migos? This what I said. How I feel about Migos. Granted, they're on top right now. Now, when I say this, I don't mean in the terms of music quality or hit records, but I think Migos is not. I want to even say our generation, the little bit younger than us generation's version of New Edition. And I say that in the term. Listen, hear me out. Okay. And I say that in the terms of their longevity only. Drake kind of put them on when he did that when he remixed their track. The Versace track. They kind of put on, but look at him. Migos has been in the game for at least, when did that Versace track came out? 2011, 2012?
We find out right now, because now that we're on iHeart, we definitely got to, oh yeah, and Kev's rap name is Fact Checker Kev, if y'all didn't know that. We're about to find out right now.
Really? That's mine?
Yeah, I thought we established that on the episode with Jay Alonzo.
When? I don't remember this. I think you're making this up.
All right, I'm gonna play it for you. It was 2013.
2013. Okay, so we're in 24. So they've been in the game, we'll say about 4 years, right? And they're just now hitting. I would want to say their peak. I don't see them getting any bigger than what they are now.
You know, I had that exact same conversation. I'm like, what's going to be the next Bad and Bougie? I said the same thing about Ray Shrimmer. Like, what's going to be the next Black Beatles?
Exactly. The only difference between that I feel about Ray Shrimmer is the fact that their producing and music making or music writing skill is probably better than Migos. That's what I think sets them apart. But I truly think I don't see no longevity with Migos. I think the Quavo, I think he probably go do his own thing. And then you don't really hear Migos. Yeah. I think they kind of die off. With Ray Shrimmer, it's a little bit different for me.
A lot of these cats ain't going to have the longevity.
Right, but that's why I say, I'm thinking group-wise, this is why I say New Edition. Again, not the hits. Hell, I was playing New Edition at the birthday party. Not the hits. Not none of that. But I mean, as far as longevity, because New Edition didn't get a chance to really do what everyone at that time projected them to do. That's why I say that.
Got you. I don't have a lot of hope for a lot of these new cats.
I hope they just teeter off.
No matter how many hits they have. I mean, look how pissed off everybody was at the XXL cover, and now there are only two people that are still active from the XXL cover.
You know what's scary about hip hop right now is not the current state it's in, but the state when we're older. And the reason I say that is because
I remember we said it on one show, like what comes after this.
Right. And the reason when I thought about it more in depth, I was thinking like even if some of these current rappers don't acknowledge it, they listen to the Jays. They listen to everybody that we listened to growing up, right? Mm-hmm. These newer acts are listening to everyone that we don't right now.
Right.
So, you know what I mean? Where does hip hop go? I hope it can get back to hip hop, but I got a feeling we're going to have about a good 5 to 7 years to where it's just straight mumble rap. Everything you hear on the radio is mumble rap.
I want to know who are going to be considered the GOATs 20 years from now. Because think about 20 years.
That's a good question.
20 years from where we are today was Pac, Big, Jay, and you know Jay's still going. Like think about the cast we named the GOATs. Who are going to be the GOATs in 2037 that they're looking back? Like Uzi, Ugly God. You know what I'm saying? Like,
wait, who?
Oh yeah, you know this dude named Ugly God?
You're joking.
Yeah, he has a song called Water where he talks about water.
You shitting me. You making this up.
Firm hand, bro. You can look it up.
Wow. This is where we're at in hip hop. Remember in hip hop when you had
he's like water, fresh, water, flash.
Remember in hip hop when you had to have kind of like a cool name just to even get a acknowledgement?
You know, it kind of feels like we went back to old school hip hop because LL Cool J is not a cool name.
It's not. It's not a cool name per se. But you mean you had the Tupac, you had the Biggie. It was cool names out there. Now you got Ugly God and Lil Uzi Vert and Lil Yachty.
Like, what the hell do these names mean?
Right.
But he says his name is Ugly God because he's been ugly all his life.
Where does the God come from?
God, he is
a god.
Right, he is a god. There are too many gods around.
They run around everywhere. Gods everywhere.
All over the place.
Oh, man. I pray for hip-hop. I truly do. I've been more being that hip-hop is the way it is. Because everything that I listen to, I don't think came out this decade. With the exception of like the Kendricks and the Coles.
Yeah, you know what? That's one thing that's actually sad to me when it comes down to hip-hop today is because if you're not listening to old shit, you can literally count on one hand
exactly
who you listen to right now. But if you think about back in the day, you think about Death Row. Death Row had a roster like 8, 9, and they all had platinum albums.
Exactly.
Like you can name 8, 9 cats off of each label. Now it's like these are the 5 I listen to.
Exactly. Now, so I pray for hip hop because I don't know where it's going. Right now I listen to a ton of R&B because I just can't listen to a lot of the music they put out. It has no substance. You know what I mean? I can barely make out what they're saying. I'll give these newer producers credit. They can come out with a hot beat, but to me, a hot beat doesn't mean nothing if the person rapping over it is garbage.
Right.
You know, and that's just not me being and I had to check myself on this. A lot of the cats that are out right now are not much younger than us.
Right.
They're only a couple years. So
I was surprised when I found out Migos was in the
they
were.
You know what I mean? So a lot of the times I'll be sitting there thinking like, damn, am I really that old? And I had to think, no, you're not. Music is just that trash. And that's sad. That's really sad.
It's a different generation. I had to come to terms that it's trash to me. And the only reason I say that is because if it was trash universally, these niggas wouldn't be on.
I'm assuming Lil Boat album was trash because I heard it flop.
It flopped bad, but you gotta think about it. It's kind of expected.
And not all the hype that he was giving behind. You got to think about the hype that man had. He's in commercials. He's doing everything,
and that's something I actually, I had to look back and do the math. He was in those commercials because think of who was the most talked about artist at that time.
I don't know.
This is around the time of the Super Bowl. It was Yachty. Yachty was fucking everywhere.
Yeah, you got
everywhere. He was literally the most talked about rap. Scratch that. The most talked about musician around the time of the Super Bowl. So of course he got Target. Of course he got Sprite.
But you would think that'd be enough to propel his music. And I'm pretty sure I don't know how his music rollout was, his album rollout, because I don't listen to him, so I don't know how his album rollout was. But even if you're just looking at what's on the surface, you would think that'd be enough to have a decently selling album.
Right.
You know what I mean? And obviously not. So, I mean, I'm hoping, don't get me wrong. I don't want these guys to not have money to do whatever they need to do. By all means, get that bread, do whatever you feel you need to do with it. But I'm not going to listen to that music. You know what I mean? And I'm hoping that these guys make smart investments because in the next 5 years, I don't want to hear a Lil Yachty. I don't want to hear a Little Boat. I don't want to hear none of that already. I hope they fall off when it comes to music.
But have they paper ready for it?
Exactly. Have your paper ready for it, because I hope you fall off. You know what I mean? That's just the way it is for me. Hip hop has too much meaning for me to see it go through this.
Right. I'm right there with you.
It's like watching a hot chick that you really wish would give you some play, but she don't, and she stays in an abusive relationship. That's how I feel about hip hop right now. It's in an abusive relationship. I want it to come home, but it just won't. It loves that abusive relationship too much.
Kev out here hitting cats with the scenarios. Y'all wasn't ready for him. I want to touch on this before we actually get up out of here, because we just got done watching it happen. So tonight, for when y'all hearing this, yesterday, Saturday, was the Jeff Horn Manny Pacquiao fight. Now, I went into this fight with very, very, very low expectations. Expectations so low that we didn't even catch it to the fourth round.
Right.
And that was just a swing fest from the fourth round all the way to the end. Now, even though it was a swing fest, Jeff Horn was getting his ass beat.
Yeah, he was getting lumped up.
Jeff Horn was getting beat up. Now, he had to, of course, headbutt Pacquiao on each side of his hairline, had him leaking, but Pacquiao, lumped up his face. He changed his appearance.
Yeah,
I was like,
when
I saw the picture of Jeff Horn before the fight, I'm like, that's not the dude that just won.
Right.
That's not him.
That's a stunt double.
That's exactly. He's a stand-in. But somehow,
some way.
And this was in Brisbane, Australia, so I guess we'll get to that. Somehow, Jeff Horn won by decision, and he is now the WBO welterweight champion.
Even though that the scorecards that we were seeing showed him losing, even though his face showed him losing, the punches that we saw showed him losing.
The ref was going to call the fight at the 9th round.
Yeah. And somehow this guy won. Now it's hard for me to really sit here and I couldn't defend Jeff Horn if I wanted to.
It's extremely hard to do.
He landed less punches, threw more punches, faces lumped up. Like you said, the ref was going to stop the fight, and yet he won.
And Pacquiao was showing why people were so excited to see Floyd Mayweather versus Pacquiao, because his counterpunching, even at 38, is still one of the best in the game right now.
It's definitely.
And he was or Jeff Horn is just trash at. You know what? I don't think white people got defense. Seriously, it's bad. I think about every white fight. When I looked at the videos of McGregor with his counterpunching, which is really decent, McGregor was still getting tagged up by an amateur. Yeah. So it's and he's the white of the white. He's Irish.
Yeah.
So it's I don't think they truly believe in defense, because Jeff Horn was getting.
They feel their offense is their defense.
More than likely.
He hits me hard, I'll just try to hit him harder.
Because I'm a god.
I wonder if Jeff Horn thought he was a god after this fight.
More than likely.
Just beat Pacquiao. I don't care if he's 38, I'm a god.
And he was getting lumped up. And shout out to Teddy Atlas. Because Teddy Atlas.
That man almost burst a head vessel in his head.
Going off.
He was going off.
Going off about Jeff Horn. Then got in an interview with Jeff Horn. The first thing he said was, I thought you lost.
And then I give Pacquiao a little bit of credit, because Pacquiao was being politically correct. He didn't want to be disrespectful, even though he had all the means to be. Only thing that I thought was funny that he did say when the reporter asked him if he felt Timothy Bradley asked him if he felt his right hand, and he was like, no, I didn't feel it.
No.
I didn't feel it. I was like, wow, Pacquiao's a G for that.
And that's one thing about Pacquiao, too, that I think a lot of people truly sleep on. Pacquiao would let you punch him just to get that perfect counterpunch.
Yep.
And even though you've punched him, even though you've gave him everything, he still comes out looking like Pacquiao.
Yeah, outside of the headbutts, he was good.
He was straight.
But then again, man, they got them heads.
Yeah.
They got them heads. So I shout out to Pacquiao. I think they're gonna do this. They're gonna do the rematch. Hopefully this don't turn into no 3-fight thing. I don't think it will, but they're gonna do this rematch, and I would not be surprised if Pacquiao puts him on the canvas.
You know where I started to think this fight is about to go real left is because they were fighting for one in Jeff Horn's. I don't know if that's his hometown, but
he's Australian.
I know he's Australian.
I don't know if Brisbane is his hometown, but
I know that's his home country, but I didn't know if that was his hometown or home city or whatever, however the fuck it works with Brisbane in Australia. But right before the end of the fight, not Teddy Atlas, but the other dude that was on, and not Timothy Bradley. We're gonna get to him in a minute. The other dude. he was like, we all remember how Rocky ended. And right now, Jeff Horn is putting on a Rocky performance. And so was Jeff Horn, but somehow Jeff Horn walked away with the welterweight belt.
Yeah, I think they honestly, they flat out robbed Pacquiao.
And Stephen A. Smith said immediately after, he was like, this was a bad look because this don't happen in UFC.
No, it doesn't.
You know what I'm saying?
It doesn't happen in UFC. If somebody's not getting a swift kick to the face and going to sleep in UFC, if it goes to decision, usually the decision is correct.
Right.
You know what I mean? The right person won. And unfortunately, because I love boxing, this is something that's damaging the sport.
Definitely.
You know what I mean? You're watching fights like this where if they're not entertaining and it goes to decision, you're like, you're wasting my time. Or if it's this one was, I don't want to say it was super entertaining, but it was fairly entertaining. We saw some cool punches, a good punches on both sides. But at the end of the day, the wrong person won.
Easily.
You know what I mean? And that's damaging the brand of boxing.
It literally becomes a what fight were you watching situation.
Exactly.
Especially when the ref's about to stop the fight. And then Jeff Horn trying to be as close to politically correct as he could be. I think I felt like I did win the fight.
I mean, but I feel like that's anybody. If anybody's gonna say they feel like they won or they feel like the best, that's why I don't think nothing of it when like rappers be like, oh, I'm the best rapper alive. They're supposed to say that. I think that's just nature.
You could tell in Jeff Horn's response when they asked him, "Do you feel like you won the fight?" He was, you know what I'm saying? Like he was real timid with his answer, and he was like, "That's just what I think, but I respect your opinion." I'm like, get out of here, dude. You lost your fight. You lost the fight.
Yeah.
That's why you were so shocked when you got the W.
Yeah,
You know what's so crazy? This is the second fight that Pacquiao obviously won that he lost.
Oh, Pacquiao gets robbed a lot.
That shit is crazy.
It's actually been a few. Pacquiao gets robbed a lot. I mean, I've never been a huge fan of his or anything like that, but he gets robbed. I've seen fights or I've seen highlights of fights where he lost, and I'm like, how did he lose that particular fight?
Like, please explain this to me.
Right. I'm a little lost here. Like, again, what you said, what fight were you watching?
Couldn't have been this one.
Right. And this one, I don't know what fight the judges were watching. I truly don't.
I guarantee they probably were hometown boys, too. Some Australian judges.
I would not be surprised.
Now, getting back to Timothy Bradley. He was like, and it's they were talking about the fight, and it's happening right here, right now in Argentina. They got quiet for a bit, and the other dude was like, or Australia.
We're in Australia. We're not in Argentina.
Argentina,
right? You're first of all, not only are you at the event, but you're a boxer or a former boxer.
You're surrounded by Australians. The only other people that are there that aren't Australians are Filipinos.
Right. And you're going to say Argentina.
There's not one Argentine dream out there.
Maybe he took too many hits to the head and he forgot where he was at.
Dude, it instantly reminded me of that episode of Family Guy when Lois was boxing and they had that celebrity boxing on. that boxer that was the guest announcer. He's like, you hit him in the head and your headbutt and get enough fights and then you go to the Walmart. Something like, you know what I'm saying?
Something random.
Like just super random. Like I hate when they have boxers on play-by-play. I think the only one to do a decent job was George Foreman.
Yeah.
And that's because he had personality. Like some of these other cats. Roy Jones did decent.
No, I can't stand Roy Jones when he's on there. He says some of the dumbest stuff, man. He gets to stuttering and just saying, you like.
He does stutter a lot.
I'll be like,
he does stutter a lot.
I'll be like, did you really just say that? Did that fly out your mouth?
Sure did.
I can't. Man, as a commentator, Roy Jones is awful.
He's. Compared to some of these other cats, especially compared to Tim Bradley, we didn't even know he was on it until like round 5.
Yeah, and then we had to see his name.
We had to see his name. We was like, oh, Timothy Bradley. He was like, oh, there you go. That's him talking.
There you go. Oh man, I can't stand. It's two commentators. It's three commentators that I cannot stand. Reggie Miller, Roy Jones, and I even know sometimes he's a commentator during boxing, and Max Kellerman. Oh, I cannot stand Max. The cast who's on First Take with Stephen A.
No, Max Kellerman. I was trying to figure out why.
He says some of it. Like, if you ever watch a boxing, like where he's interviewing the boxer after the fight, he asked some of the dumbest shit. I was watching the fight. I can't remember who it was. But one of the fighters, the fighter who actually won, during the fight, they had mentioned that he was trying to get his green card so he can travel and get more fights, and it was difficult for him. You know what I mean? And Max goes up to him, and that's the first thing he asked about. He didn't ask about the fight. He said, so do you think this fight will help you get your green card? Bruh, did you really let that fly out your mouth? And you can obviously see, like, when he said that, he said more to it, but the dude became emotional because you see something. This is something he's passionate about.
It's something he's currently dealing with.
Right. And so he got emotional, and then Max proceeded to ask him, well, you're definitely going to get that green card. Like, he kept going back. Bro, talk about the fight. Talk about the fact that he clearly beat dude, but he was an underdog. Talk about that. Little stuff like that with Max, I'm like, bro, you're terrible. Then when I watch him on First Take, I be this close to throwing something at him every time through the TV.
That's why I'm so shocked that his name just left me. The original First Take co-host, Skip Bayless. That's why I'm so surprised.
Skip was the reason I started.
I'm so surprised that Skip Bayless. Fox must have been throwing him a fantastic check, because now it seems like Stephen A. and Skip Bayless probably got two of the most out of it co-hosts to debate. Like, granted, what's his name? The one that Skip Bayless work with now?
Shannon Sharp.
Shannon Sharp. When it comes down to black things in the community, he's great. Other than that, when he's talking about sports, I'm like,
when you watch that show and then you really see two old ass people talk about shit with no idea what they're talking about half the time, and
you just stare at them for a little bit. And I'm like, okay, let's ask him a black question.
Do Shannon Sharp look like he got a strong ass face to you? like he just put a weight in his jaw and just start doing chin ups with his jaw.
Like he just be chewing on nuts and bolts.
Yeah, like he looked like if Pacquiao hit him in the face, he'd be like, "No, I didn't feel it."
No, that wasn't even it. That was right hand. He has a very buff face.
He does.
His face bench at least 220. I guess with that being said, Pacquiao got robbed. Y'all go check out 444. Gods are among us, and
they walk among us. It's a show. I'm still trying to get into it because it's jumpy and I'm having trouble following. But it's called American Gods.
I heard of it, and
I've been hearing good things about it. That's what made me want to tune in. But I'm a little lost right now. One of the was it the first episode or the second one? I think it was the first episode. It was this black chick. I'm assuming she had to be a god. This black chick, and she's talking to this man at this bar. And one thing leads to another. They end up in her room, I'm assuming.
Having God sex.
Now, what I'm about to say, I don't know. If this is God sex, I don't want it. They getting into it, and she starts telling him to worship me and like really worship her. And next thing you know, like the way the camera pans, it shows dude getting smaller. And she gradually shoves him up her.
Whoa.
I don't mean like his member, his part. Him
as a man.
Like when it panned out, he was gone. And she repeatedly did this to like 3 other guys, and I was like, wait a minute, what the fuck am I watching here?
I know some females that could do that today.
That's sad. She was a god and she had to do this. So, are they gods too?
No, they probably work at like Target.
They work at Target.
Realistically, at Target.
Oh, man. That's wild.
Kev, let the good people know where they can find you at, sir.
Find me on Twitter, _HollywoodKev. Same for my Instagram. Find me on Facebook. Add me, don't follow me. Word to Lowe's. Wait, did I say that right?
You said it wrong.
Said it wrong?
That's how you get
gods. Follow me, don't add me.
Gods at
Follow me, don't add me. There we go. I got it.
At Big Los UTC on Twitter. Follow me on Facebook. Big Los on Snapchat. We can get it snapping.
Bro, you need to make an Instagram, man.
No, I don't. Eventually. I got to start taking pictures. I've never been a picture dude because, again, I just found out I'm fat.
Well, you don't have to take pictures of you necessarily.
I have to get this weight down from this revelation before I start taking photos.
You don't have to take a picture of you necessarily. You see a lot of cool, funny stuff on Snap. Mm-hmm. Or not on Snap, on Instagram. I don't take pictures of me.
Got you. Thank you again to everybody who helped get us on iHeart, we're definitely going to make sure we do you guys service by continuously bringing you guys the content that you enjoy that got us here on iHeart.
Absolutely.
So, as always, we appreciate you guys tuning in. As always, we appreciate your support. And as always, it's Big Los.
Hollywood Cav.
It's the Noize.